Good evening, everybody. I hope you all had a fantastic Tuesday. The weather's beautiful, sun shining. So I thought we would start it off today with showing some of the amazing donations. So we'll do that first. So we have this amazing air fryer toaster oven from our amazing friend Brittany. We also have some more gift cards from Sonora Grill. And we have this amazing Afghan that was donated by my mom. And it was made with so much love. She donated this to Not Invisible. And we are donating it to the Cruisers for Kids event. And we just want to remind everybody about the event for Cruisers for Kids on August 16th from 9 to 4. And we just hope everybody makes it out. So again, here's the flyer. If you want to take a second, write it down. Here's the information. And then also just to remind everybody that we have donated tank, tea, and hoodie for a donation of $1 for 1 ticket, for $5 for 6 tickets. We will be drawing the name on the 17th. All right, so this morning, I guess my video kind of got cut off or disconnected. So I don't know quite what happened there. But this morning, I asked everybody to think about what are they grateful for? What are they thankful for? And to post it. Don't just think it, but post it. It's kind of fun to see what everybody's grateful for and thankful for. And not just at Thanksgiving time. And there's a reason behind why I asked you guys to do this. I think sometimes that we take things for granted. I know there's been times I'm very guilty of that. So it'd be kind of neat to see what everybody else takes for granted, or what they're thankful for. I named today's video Trust, because with Rye, she's always kind of been confused on who can she trust, and there's a reason behind that. So I thought that we would talk about that tonight, and why she's in the spot that she is. And it breaks my heart, actually, to talk about this subject, because she's always been locked up by the good guys. And I say the good guys because you should be able to talk to or trust the police, and you should be able to go to them. But every time that she's dealt with them, or she's always being locked up. Even when she was found, they locked her up. They locked her up in a safe house, and then to keep her safe, they locked her up in a detention center. But in her views, she was locked up for no reason, and so she totally does not want anything to do with them. And Even when she tried to talk to them and tell them different things like, hey, there's something in my foot, it's a tracker, they told her that she was full of nonsense. Well, I can tell you to this day, she still has a scar on the bottom of her foot where she was so terrified with this object that they were going to find her and they were going to follow her because of this object that was in her foot. She actually dug whatever this object was out of her own foot and flushed it down the toilet. And then she was also locked up by the bad guys. And I say the bad guys because the traffickers, when they found her, she was locked in a closet and locked in a dog kennel. So Rye has turned to people on the streets, and this being people that people like the average Joes like us, would claim to be bad, like the gang members and people that live a wild life, or as Rye calls it, like the darker side. But they've had her back. And I always say that, you know, the streets have their own laws and rules. And with that being said, I like to call it the circle jerk game, because from being around these kids, they've made a lot of bad choices, but they really do have good hearts when you get talking to them and you really get to their core. But I've watched them all take from each other or steal from each other, and they all have their own set of rules or laws on the streets. They all know each other, and they all know what everybody's done. And they take care of it amongst themselves. If somebody's done somebody wrong, by all means, they're going to get punished by the community, as I like to call it. But if anybody goes to the police or to a higher source, they're considered a rat and you're shunned. And it puts their life at risk. And to me, that's scarier than a lot of things I've been afraid of sometimes. I think that these people that have had Rye's back, it's a double-edged sword, and I use that double-edged sword a lot because there's good and there's bads. Like, I can't tell you how many times that they have helped Rye when she's been in sticky situations, when she's not had a place to stay, she stayed with them, or when she's not had anything to eat, they've given her a meal, or when she hasn't had a ride, they've given her a ride in the middle of wintertime. I mean, there's so many things that are good qualities about these people, and when somebody has hurt her, they are right there to back her and to protect her. So they are her street family. So I feel like I am thankful for that she has so many good friends that have become her family on the streets, and that would do anything for her. So I would say that I'm very thankful for the street family that she has. I will say that I'm not thankful for the trouble that they've gotten into. And I do wish better for them. I do take for granted a lot of times that they'll always be there for her. And that's where it breaks my heart, because there are so many of them that have passed away in the last year. And I watch the pain that Rye goes through when somebody does pass away. And so I know I can't always take them for granted. And I think that needs to be in everybody's daily life, because you can't take people for granted, because you never know when they're going to be called home, or when something's going to happen. You never know when a car wreck's going to happen, or an illness is going to strike. So with that being said, I feel like, again, let people know how you feel. I know with Rye, we've talked about this in therapy several times. I can't tell you how many times I've planned her funeral, or I've wanted to, or that I've thought that I need to, because I wait for that call all the time that something bad's going to happen to her, or that she'll overdose. And that's so real to me. And I think that anybody that deals with a family member, a friend, or a child that's been through what we've been through, they know what I'm talking about. Or anybody that deals with somebody with an addiction, they know the thoughts that we think of, and they know that. I also wanted to kind of step back a little bit from the other night when we were talking about when people go missing. Why is it only certain people? That are the chosen people that that are reported, or that get the Amber Alerts. But I feel like there's so many other people that that aren't mentioned, and they fit in this boat too. And it's like the Native people, I think that they go unmentioned so often. Me and Jared talked about that, and he's the one that actually brought that up, and I totally did not even think about that. I know that I've seen it and I've read about it, and I'm glad that he re-brought that back up. Again, the troubled youth, or the mental health. And I feel like, why is that? Why just because if you have caused some problems, or your brain is a little bit different, why are you singled out? Or because your skin is a different color, why are you singled out? So I've really been questioning that a lot lately. I think deep down, if you're different, people don't want to deal with you. Or they don't know how to handle you. And And I think that's what makes this world go around, is people that are different or that are creative. And if we were all the same, how boring would this world be? And I want to go on to say, like, if we didn't have each other, how lonely would it be? If we didn't have one another to, like, support each other or to carry one another on, I'm just going to come right out and say it. This world would be lame. I feel like if I didn't have the support I did, I probably would go batshit crazy. There were several times I can tell you that I sat in my car and just bawled, or went for a walk and bawled. And if I didn't have the support group that I did, I probably wouldn't make it as far as I have. So all of you that are in my support group, you know who you are, and I thank you for that. I know there's a lot of times I kind of ramble, and it's because there's so many thoughts in my head, and they all want to come out at once. So I had to make notes tonight, so I kind of stayed on track. But, and I keep looking down to read my notes. So going back to the little thought about the guys on the streets and how they had their own circle. I had somebody ask me the other day, and they asked me this quite a while ago, if I was able to come up with a punishment for the people that did this to my child, what would my punishment be? And I'm going to ask you, what would your punishment be? Add it in the comments. I want to see what everybody else's punishments would be. I really thought about this, and I really had a hard time with this one. But my response back was, if I did what my thoughts were, God would never forgive me. And the best thing that I could do was to place a sign in the middle of town and tie them to a willow tree. And let everybody else do it for me. Because I don't think I would be able to forgive myself either if I did what I wanted to, or what my thoughts were. I will tell you that I came face to face with one of the men responsible, and I did not know that at the time. And I found out later that who he was. And I was so angry at myself because I fought to help them. And I had to come to the realization that that's the type of person I am, is I try to help people and I care for people. And that's the type of person that he is. And that I can't blame myself for what he did, or because I didn't react. I didn't trip him in his shackles as much as I wanted him to trip in his shackles. But I'm better than that. And I guess the point of this video tonight is we all are better. And even though horrible things can happen, we choose how we are going to handle a situation. And we can either go down the path that we are going to dwell, or we can turn it into something beautiful. And I feel like kind of this winter, when I got the realization that I can't let our daughter dwell anymore. And so hopefully by talking about it, getting the awareness out there, letting go of the anger. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still very upset. I'm very angry. Every day is something I think about. I feel it every day. There's days that I can talk about it, I can be just fine. But then there's other days that I get tearful, I cry. There's days I have to pull over in parking lots. But I feel like we're turning this into something good. I feel like we're helping other people, we're paying it forward. And we're trying to prevent it from happening to other people. And so I guess by making these videos, it's not easy, and I tell you that. It's hard. It's hard to bring up the past. It's hard to bring up stuff that I buried. There's stuff that I want to forget that my daughter's told me. There's probably things I want to not ever remember again. There's probably things I haven't even talked to other people about. And it will probably be the same for her as well. But I feel like the more we can talk, the more we can get it out, then maybe the further it will travel. And maybe if it touches one soul, it might touch another soul. And maybe it will touch them so much that it will help them heal too. And maybe too, maybe it'll help bring somebody forward to bring information out about Candace, and we can bring her home sooner. I'm just very hopeful. That it will go far. It'll go big. And when I say that, it's not that I mean like going far and big as in we're trying to make money from this, because that is not our intention. Our intention is going far big as in getting the awareness out there, helping other people, and helping as many people as possible. Sorry, just had a bug fly at my head. But anyways, I'm way excited to see what everybody else takes for granted, and what they're thankful for. So, and to see what their punishments would be. So anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic night, and I can't wait to chat with you again. Have a blessed night, guys.